This is a process rather than a one assessment tool. And the idea of 360 degree is what it says on the tin, that we're taking a comprehensive view of the person and the system they are in. So our 360 degree assessments can be anything from 3 days to 10 days. We determine that if we feel that an assessment request is required. So the assessments themselves involve practitioners really trying to get under the skin of the individual, the family, the systems that are supported, and provide a comprehensive set of recommendations about the individual, the family, and the system. What we don't do in those assessments is just focus on one individual and just provide a report on that. So to give you an example, we've done 360 degree assessments that are for individuals who are in, for example, incarcerated in our institutions, particularly in the UK. Most of these individuals have mental health or other conditions, autism, and they are stuck in the system. So our 360 degree assessments traditionally will involve some members of our team going and spending some time with that individual to get a sense of what it's like to be there. If they have a diagnosis like autism or complex trauma, we will try to give a pathway for that as part of our 360 degree assessment of the kinds of work that should be done with that individual. And finally, we will talk about what are the transition steps and risk pathways for getting that person back into their communities, because that's our essential philosophy. We're a community-based and believe in community-based supports. No one really does well in long-term accommodation where they feel trapped or stuck. You go into our system in crisis and you stay there quite often, which is a sad thing for me to say. So part of our 360s with systems is with commissioners of services and others to say, we'll give you a best guess and a best expert opinion about how we get this person from a hospital setting to the community. So that's one form of a 360 degree assessment. Other 360 degree assessments follow similar principles, but they involve looking at a child within a school. Recently, an example, 2 young people with autism who were particularly struggling within the school framework. Our staff, again, will go and spend time with that individual to see what it's like in their situation. What people's understanding is of autism in this particular case was one of the big outcomes of our 360 report. It was actually saying that people don't really have a shared understanding of why these 2 children are different and how they can support them. So these general ideas of a 360 assessment goes back to systemic working and my colleagues in our original work, which is we don't like taking an individual and taking them out of context. So a 360 degree assessment is actually for us taking an oversight view. The final point I will make about 360 degree assessments is that sometimes we don't always necessarily please our customers. If we took just their money and said, we'll give you our recommendations and please you with what you want to hear, then don't bother to contact us. Our processes can sometimes be slightly adversarial because our job is also to challenge people to think differently about that individual. Sometimes individuals, systems, service providers, even families. So that's really the essential components of a 360 degree assessment. And again, increasingly, we're doing more and more of them at Studio 3.